Hey guys, it's Zung, and today I'm giving some of my favorite breakfast pastries a spring makeover with the help of Truvia sweeteners. The easiest way to put a spring twist on things is by bringing in seasonal flavors, so you'll be seeing a lot of bright and berry flavors throughout. Another way to bring in the taste of the season is by lightening things up overall, which is where Truvia sweeteners come in. All of Truvia's products include stevia leaf extract derived from the leaves of the stevia plant, which helps reduce the amount of sugar in the recipes that you love. Amazing, right? If that all sounds good to you, give this video a quick thumbs up. In each of the recipes I'm using today, I'll be using Truvia's new SweetComplete all-purpose sweetener. SweetComplete is a great alternative to sugar for any of your favorite recipes because it's a one-to-one substitute for traditional sugar, which means you can easily swap it into your go-to cookies, cakes, or in today's case, pastries. You'll also see that Truvia SweetComplete bakes and browns in recipes and sweetens and measures like sugar, so you can enjoy all your favorite foods with less sugar no matter what you're cooking up. So first up, we're making a lemon blueberry muffin. To start, I'm gonna add all of the dry ingredients into the bowl. We're gonna start with our Truvia SweetComplete, and then I'll add the rest of the dry ingredients, flour, salt, baking powder, and give it a mix. All the specific measurements will be in the description box below. All right, our dry ingredients are done. Now let's work on our wet ingredients. So for the wet ingredients, I'm just gonna combine everything into our measuring cup, which is already filled with our milk. So first I'm gonna add the melted butter, an egg, vanilla extract, and then I'm gonna zest half a lemon and then squeeze out its juice. The lemon zest will help amp up the spring flavor in our muffins. Just give it a quick mix with your fork. And now let's talk about our blueberries. You can use fresh or frozen, but if you're using frozen, don't let it thaw. All you have to do is combine it with a little bit of flour to coat it and just mix it well. So to combine everything, I'm just gonna pour all of our wet ingredients into the dry ingredients and then just give it a quick mix just until it's combined. And then we're gonna pour our frozen blueberries in and just give it a final mix. Now just fill your cupcake pan that's already lined with muffin paper. I like using these ice cream scooper. They just measure out perfectly, but you wanna make sure that each muffin tin is filled 3/4 of the way full. And now I'll just bake it for about 18 to 20 minutes in the oven at 375 degrees. So here's our blueberry muffins. There's so many blueberries in there and my kids love muffins. Truvia SweetComplete all-purpose sweetener contains chicory root fiber. This recipe has 6 grams of dietary fiber per a 2 muffin serving. Yeah. All right, let's give it a try. Now that's a burst of spring flavors right there. I taste the lemon zest with the juicy blueberries in there. And I appreciate that the Truvia SweetComplete was an easy swap in this recipe. All right, so our next pastry is the vanilla raspberry scone. Scones are super easy to make and I like them sweet but not too sweet. So in a large bowl, I'm gonna add some flour, Truvia SweetComplete, some baking powder, and a little bit of salt. Then I'll just give it a mix. All right, and now I'm gonna incorporate some grated butter. So I've grated it into small pieces like this so it would create little air pockets when we're baking it up. And it'll be very tender, flaky, and just delicious. And then with my hands, I'm just gonna mix it up and kind of break the butter apart with the flour. Just kind of pinching it together to create little pea-sized pieces. So I'm gonna set this aside, wash my hands real quick, and then we'll work on the wet ingredients. So in my mug, I already have some half and half, which is basically half cream, half milk. You can decide to use both, either or. But to the measuring cup, I'm gonna add an egg, some vanilla extract, and I'll just mix it all together. Great, this looks great. Now we're gonna combine everything. All right, so I have all the rest of the ingredients here, and I'm gonna mix half of the egg mixture into the dry mixture, mix it well, just until it's combined, and then I'll pour the rest of the egg liquid in. Give it a mix, and then I'll add my frozen raspberries, mix it again just until it's combined. You don't wanna overwork the batter here. All right, so now I'm gonna flour my surface a little bit. just so that our dough doesn't stick. And then I'm gonna turn the batter over. I'm using a bench scraper here and it does wonders for scones. I try not to touch it as much as possible because my hands will warm up the dough and it's just gonna be hard to work with. So I try to gather it up with my bench scraper and just flatten it out into a circular shape. It does tend to get sticky, so like on top, when you need to flatten it down, just sprinkle a little bit of flour. I like that the frozen raspberries are keeping the dough nice and cold. Okay, so now with my bench scraper, I'm gonna cut it into 8 pieces. So on a baking sheet that I've already lined with parchment paper, I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit more flour right on top just to give our scones that rustic feel at the bottom. And now I'll transfer our scones directly onto the baking sheet. Make sure to space them a little bit further apart because they're gonna expand when you bake them up. All right, so last step for the scones, I have a little bit of half and half and I'm just gonna brush it right on top to give it a nice shiny look when we bake them off. And now I'm just gonna pop them in the oven at 375 degrees for about 18 to 20 minutes until they're nice, puffy, and golden brown. So here's our scone. The texture is nice, flaky, and tender, just how I like it. Bursting with those raspberries. Let's give it a try. Like I said, it's sweet, but not too sweet, and I love that little surprise of reduced sugar courtesy of Truvia SweetComplete. Our next one is a breakfast Danish, and I promise you, it's easier to make than you think. It's perfect for your morning coffee, or if you just need that pick-me-up for your afternoon break. All right, so inside I'm gonna make a cream cheese filling. So I have a block of cream cheese already in my bowl and it's at room temperature, so it's easier to mix up. And to that, I'm just gonna add a little bit of Truvia SweetComplete all-purpose sweetener, an egg, some lemon juice, and vanilla extract. Now I'll just whisk it up all together. Our cream cheese mixture is done for now, so I'm gonna set it aside and I'll show you what I'll use for our Danish. So to make our Danish, I'm getting help from our good old puff pastry. You can find puff pastry in the freezer section at any well-stocked grocery store. Now, for the puff pastry, typically you can make so many different designs. You could cut them into smaller pieces, put them in squares, fold them in a different way, and then dollop the cream cheese in the middle. But today I'm just gonna go for a braided Danish look. Now I'm just gonna add half of the cream cheese mixture onto this puff pastry sheet. The cream cheese mixture is enough for 2 puff pastry sheets. Just put it down the middle and then spread it out. And to dress it up for spring, you can top it with some fresh berries, strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, whatever you'd like, or even some jam. I really love guava jam, so I'm gonna add it right on top. And it reminds me of something I had in Hawaii or even from Porto's if you're in LA. With my paring knife, I'm gonna go down the puff pastry and score diagonal slices about 1/2 inch apart. Now I'm just gonna braid the pieces over each other. Now I'm just gonna brush it with some of my egg wash. It's just egg whites with water to give it that nice, beautiful shine. Now I'll just put it in the oven at 400 degrees for about 20 minutes until it's nice and puffy and golden brown. Our Danish is done, and this is what it looks like cut up. My favorite part of this are the braids. Isn't it so beautiful? And you can see inside, especially this one, how it's just bursting with the jam and the cream cheese. And I love that with 0 calories per serving, Truvia SweetComplete helps to keep this recipe light. It's the perfect way to start the day. These breakfast treats are definitely something to look forward to, and I love that they're so easy to make. If you're ready to put Truvia SweetComplete all-purpose sweetener to the taste test in your recipes, be sure to check out your local grocery store or use the Amazon link in the description box below. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!